Well, hey, you had a great night tonight, Ralphie, in front of your family, too. How'd that feel? Pretty good.
Felt great. Been talking to my dad about approach. Been talking to the hitting coaches here about approach. Felt good. Got my pitches tonight. Put a good barrel on it, and it was a good night.
How do you feel the adjustment's been for you versus low A, where you were crushing it? Here has been a bit of adjustment. What are you seeing difference-wise from pitchers that you've had to adjust to?
Going up with a better plan, definitely, because pitchers here are throwing a lot more strikes here, and they have a plan. So your plan needs to be better than theirs to succeed. So definitely just talking to people about plans, asking questions, definitely that.
You left field tonight, made a nice catch early on. Of course, you had the home run robbery last week or over the weekend. How are you feeling out there? I mean, obviously that catch is no joke. You can't, luck your way into that.
Oh yeah, I've always, since I was little, I was an outfielder. I played some infield. Then when I went to high school, I kept asking to play some outfield. My coach was like, "Oh, we need you at third and first," but it's cool. It's chill out there. Definitely when you have your boys out there, but I like it. I feel comfortable.
So you were drafted as a catcher. You played first base all year. Now you're playing some left field.
Mm-hmm.
You miss catching. Do you feel good about first base, left field, though, at this point?
Yeah, I miss it. It's definitely a good position, but we'll see coming into the next season what happens.
How are you feeling about going to the playoffs here, too? You got a chance to play some playoff baseball. That's always got to be good.
Definitely excited. I love this group of guys already, and I've only known them for a couple weeks now, so I'm excited to go to battle with them, definitely.
I read somewhere in high school you were a little motivated by a game you didn't get invited to.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think they feel about that right now, seeing what you're doing at the pro level?
That's what pushes me, so I'm kind of happy that they didn't, because I think I needed that in my career. So definitely no hate to them. They have so much respect for me, but definitely pushed me to get better, so I just got to say thank you.
Were you laid on the radar to some pro teams? It seemed like your senior year you really started to pick up some traction in terms of like draft attention. When were you on Cleveland's radar and just your whole senior year?
I always had a close connection with Cleveland. They were at a lot of games. Going into the draft, I knew they were there. And when I was sitting there and I saw the call, I knew it could have been two other teams. And when I heard the name that it was the Guards, I was stoked.
How about your experience this year at the Futures game? I know I heard a lot of good things about your batting practice session. I know it was only a 7-inning game, but how do you feel about that experience and who you connected with and what you learned?
It was definitely sweet. Definitely talking to a bunch of great players there. Definitely asking a bunch of questions. Like, I'll give you guys an example. This whole season I've been using a 34 bat. Been talking to people. I'm like, hey, like, what do you swing? They're like, oh, 33 and a half, 33 and a half. So I'm like, all right, like, how come? They're like, through high school, 34s all the time. That's what I did. But when you have your first season, these seasons get long, they get rough, you're not going to be able to swing that 34 the same. So you got to start dropping down weights. So that was probably the biggest piece of advice I got. Tonight I used 33 and a half, got 2 knocks. So
yeah, it worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's fast forward to a place where you make your major league debut. Is there any pitchers that you have in mind you'd be like, I'd love to face this guy in my first at bat, or maybe you have a pitcher you're like, I would not want to face this guy in my first at bat?
Definitely a kid that I want to face. Someone I want to face on our team first, I'd say Tugboat. I want to see what that's like. But obviously I'd have to say Garrett Cole if he's still there. Garrett Cole, or a freaking pitcher that I've been watching for my whole life growing up as a Dodger fan would be Clayton Kershaw.
That's what Travis said there, that he wanted to face Kershaw if
Really?
he had a chance to. He said he didn't want to face Chris Sale, but he would like to face Kershaw. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, Chris Sale seems like a tough one.
Yeah.
So you were a Dodger fan growing up then. So you watched a lot of baseball. I know a lot of guys will say like,
Oh yeah.
I like playing baseball, maybe not watching it, but you watched a lot of Dodger baseball growing up.
Oh yeah. I feel like my earliest memories is Dodger baseball, and definitely Matt Kemp was probably my favorite player back then. Loved watching him. I feel like my moment to like where I felt like, okay, this is what I want to do was pretty sure it was a wild card game. Matt Kemp came up and hit a walk-off homer in like the ninth. That energy in that crowd, I was like, okay, I want to do this for the rest of my life probably. Yeah.
What do you like to do outside of baseball that kind of gets your mind off things? It's a fun hobby, maybe even like a hidden talent. Are you a golfer or anything?
I fish.
You fish?
I'm a
Okay.
fisherman, yeah. I'm getting into golfing right now. It's a little rough right now. I'm a righty golfer, not a lefty.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but that's going good. Getting some tips on that, but I could always fish.
What are you watching on TV? What are your favorite shows or movies?
Favorite show of all time, and I'm waiting for it next summer, Stranger Things, 100%. Favorite show of all time, hands down. But something I got into that's new, Dexter.
Dexter?
I like Dexter, yeah.
I still
it's
haven't
good.
watched that yet. Love the Young Jeezy pick. What was behind that?
Honestly, just going through songs. My dad's put me on a bunch of like old rap songs, and that was just one that stood out to me when he was think I found it my sophomore year. We were in the car, me and my pops. Love that song, so put that on there.
Do you say like he's been your biggest influence in life?
My father? Yes, 100%. I have to give credit to my mom too. They have been nothing but great to me, and I just want to give everything back to them. Same with my grandparents. Yeah.
All right. Thank